If you're about to purchase a positive cash flow property, you'll probably be wondering what's going to be my return on my investment. So let's go through an example here of somebody who wants to replace their income, somebody who has $50,000 a year income and they want to completely replace it through positive cash flow property. So and we're working on every property is a 5-year transaction. So say for instance, we always stuck with properties that were $400,000. So your initial investment would be around a 10% deposit plus stamp duty, which would be $55,000. So that would mean that your loan amount would be $360,000, and then the buyer that comes into the house would put down at least $20,000. So that would cut $10,000 off your initial investment, because that would be shared between us and yourself, 50%. So that means it's a $44,000 investment, cash investment up front. So your repayments will be around $545 a week. That's on a 5% principal and interest loan. Okay, so we've got those numbers. That's your investment. So then what do we do with this property? So we bring in a buyer. Now the price that the buyer will pay for the property, say for instance on a $400,000 property. Now when we buy a $400,000 property, we never buy it unless we know that it's already worth $440,000. So that there means that we've already got this bit of margin that we can add to the property without actually doing anything that's dishonest. So the buyer's price is now $440,000 because that's what the property is worth. The buyer agrees to buy that property for $440,000. They put down a 5% deposit at least. The more they have, the better. So that's $20,000, and so their loan with you will be $434,000. So let's go back to that again. Your loan amount is $360,000. Their loan amount is $434,000. So can you already see a bit of profit there? Now the buyer's payments are going to be at 6.5% principal and interest. And this is an example. It will change during different economic times. So this will equal around $633 a week. So your repayments are $445 a week. Their repayments are $633 a week. So you've got a weekly cash flow of $188 per week. Now, as a transaction going through our company, our fee will be 50% of that. So at the end of the day, in your pocket will go $94 every week. So that's money that you don't have to get out of bed for. It'll come every week, on time, every time. So your yearly cash flow will be $4,888. Now, the average transaction goes for about 5 years. Can go for longer, can go for less, but let's keep it at 5 years. So over a 5-year period, you will have made, just in cash flow alone, this is money that you don't have to do anything for, is $24,455. Now at the end, when the buyers decide to switch over to the bank and buy you out, then you get an end lump sum profit of $15,000 as well. So over 5 years, you have made an income of $40,000. So what was your initial cash investment was $44,000. So that's more than 90% in total return on your cash investment. So that's not bad, especially in the property market, when you know that you're going to make 90% on every dollar that you've actually forked out. That's a nice bit of a guarantee. So still, we want to replace our income. So you've got $50,000 a year, and you want to completely replace your income so that you've got enough properties that are making enough of this money coming in so that you don't ever have to work again. So what you'd have to have is 10 properties. Now every time you have a new property, that increases your income, which is increasing your ability to to borrow. And the other thing is that if, for instance, you only ever wanted to make one big lump sum payment at the beginning of the process, in theory, if you wanted to, then you could just let all of the profit roll over to the next, so that all you'd have to do is put an extra $10,000 to each new property, and you could continue letting the profit from the previous property buy the next few properties until eventually you've added it up to 10 properties. So your initial investment would only be $44,000, next property $10,000, and so on until you own 10 properties. So I hope that's not too confusing for you, and I'd like you to sort of ponder for a minute what that would mean for you if you were making $50,000 a year that you didn't have to get out of bed for, that you didn't have to be away from the kids for, you didn't have to actually fork out any of your own personal energy to make that money.